out there like I never wanted to leave LA. LA is home. This is where I wanted to finish at. I wanted to work as hard as possible to win one in LA. Like that was the goal, to be here and be committed to LA. As it played out though, like the first initial deal was, I thought, kind of disrespectful, right? And again, in all of this, no hard feelings. So the first initial deal was like 2 years, 60. So I'm like, whoa.
Hey, that's crazy, bro.
That's cool.
Saw Paul George, who I'm not going to lie, I was really surprised. For some reason, a part of me thought that Paul George was going to stay in Los Angeles. And, because he's a California kid, I thought he would want to stay there. I did not see him going to Philly. I don't blame him, seeing the contract that he got, but I didn't really see him going to Philly. A part of me, for nostalgic purposes, seeing the Splash Brothers, I didn't see Klay Thompson leaving, even though all of the signs were there. The energy that the fans had towards him, the struggles that he had in this past season, and I think just the pressure of them being a 4-time champion is like, hey, let me go somewhere else, show my value, show my worth, and they'll miss me. But those aren't the only moves. A lot of huge moves. Donovan Mitchell re-signed. Out of everything that's going on in the league right now, Dub, what do you think is the biggest move, and who do you think improved the most from the moves that they made as soon as free agency started?
Yeah, I'm looking at some of the moves because it's been a lot of movement over the past NBA. To me, based on what I see, I feel as if the 76ers got better. From top to bottom, I think they got better. Kelly Oubre, they signed him for a peanut butter and jelly sandwich, 2-year, $16 million contract. In the NBA, that's a peanut butter and jelly sandwich. Tyrese Maxey, they locked him in. We got my young cat from Duke. I forgot his name. I forgot his name. I was just looking at something about him. We drafted
in Philly.
Yeah, we drafted him.
Oh yeah, my guy, TikTok King.
Yeah, I forgot his name. Man.
I can't think of his name right now.
Anywho, it'll come to us. And then you got Paul George and Andre Drummond, Eric Gordon. You got a lot of experience that's coming in, but then you're getting a lot of fresh talent that's coming in as well. So I feel like the 76ers really done a good job with their roster. Would that be enough to compete with the Sixers? The Celtics, my boys? Absolutely not. Absolutely.
Yeah, and Jared McCain is our guy.
Jared McCain, that's it.
Yeah.
TikTok guy, painting the nails. That's a big thing, brother. The Dallas Mavericks, I think they got a little bit better. Man, if we just can get 75% of the old Klay, the NBA could be in trouble. For the Mavericks to make it that far last season with that roster, which was okay from top to bottom, and it needs a little work, but those guys competed, and Kyrie and Luka are on the same page from like a leadership dynamic, and I think they played well together. Those really the two teams to me that stood out to most. I really think that the Sixers did a lot of damage, good damage. So that's just my opinion.
Yeah, I would say you called it out. I think the Mavericks made the biggest move, and even though they didn't make the most moves, I think adding Klay Thompson fills a gap that was a clear gap both in the Western Conference Finals and then also in the NBA Finals, and that was perimeter shooting. They have the type of offense where they get downhill. Luka or Kyrie is able to penetrate the defense and drive to the basket. And part of it is that they were kicking the ball out to Derrick Jones, Tim Hardaway Jr., whoever was there, and the shooting was just inconsistent. They couldn't rely. They got PJ Washington mid-season. I think he was a upgrade from what they had previously, but they just didn't have that consistent three-point shooting. And I think the pressure that was on Klay Thompson in Golden State is not there in Dallas. He's number 3 for obvious reasons. And I think he can just go. He can let his hair down figuratively, and he can shoot the basketball. And I think with him as a shooter and as your third guy, again, you have Kyrie Irving, Luka Doncic, Klay Thompson. And I think they got light years better in comparison to where they stood in the West. Because if you think about the Denver Nuggets, them losing Kentavious Caldwell-Pope, who's been integral to their success over the past couple of years. When you think about the Minnesota Timberwolves, who are really, really going to be a problem. All right. You just look at what they already had in Ant Edwards. You look at the upgrades they made at the point guard position, and what they're going to be able to do there. You look at the steal of the draft. They got my guy from Illinois. Oh man, Dub, you got to help me out here. What's my guy? I'm drawing a blank, Dub.
Your guy who
beat the case, Terrence Shannon Jr.
Oh shit.
So yeah, Terrence Shannon Jr. A guy who offensively is going to be able to counter what Anthony Edwards provides. Teams try to double in on Anthony Edwards. Terrence Shannon Jr. can get to the basketball. He has good size. He's a decent shooter and really improved on his shooting throughout his college career, going from Texas Tech to Illinois. And, I think the Timberwolves are really good. So I say all that to say, I feel like what the Mavericks did put them in position to compete with the Timberwolves, who I believe are the future of the West. So I really like what they did there. I was hoping that we would have saw more moves from the Lakers. I don't know what's going on there.
Oh, there's still a lot of free agents.
Still a lot of time left.
Yeah, you got Luke Kennard that's still available from Memphis. You have DeMar DeRozan that's still available. You got Miles Bridges that's still available. When you think about Miles Bridges too, you think about when Malik Monk had went to LA for a little bit. So maybe there's a dynamic there where Charlotte and the Lakers do business, and they seem to be doing pretty good business, historically. So maybe they get Miles Bridges, which would definitely be an upgrade for those guys. I like Miles Bridges. He just need to stay out of trouble and stay out the limelight with issues. Other than that, the guy can ball, man. He's explosive. He's a decent shooter. So there's some options out there for the Lakers. They just have to make a few moves.
Yeah. I think there's still time. But yeah, man, it's gonna be exciting NBA season. I feel like every so often we see like a changing of the guard. Now it's gotten to the point where I feel like the NBA is more like college basketball in terms of you don't know from year to year who's going to be that team that emerges. It's so competitive, so many great guys that are spread out in the league at this point. And even with the big twos, the big threes, sometimes we see that's still not enough to knock some of these teams off. And the Celtics, they secured their future and still have their core guys. I see they re-signed Al Horford for 2 more years as well. So it's going to be tough to knock them off their pivot. But I think the Timberwolves and the Nuggets are well positioned in the West to try to do that.